Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Simplified with Megha. So, today we have Mr. Anto Saju with us. Am I pronouncing your name correctly, Anto?
Yes, you are pronouncing it correctly,
Okay.
Mega.
So he's a communication skill trainer as well as an IELTS trainer. So I was getting a lot of questions regarding IELTS, and I thought since I do not have a complete and an expert knowledge about IELTS, so I thought of talking to an expert and then sharing things from your point of view. So welcome, sir, and how are you doing today? How's the weather there?
Yes, thank you, Mega, for the invite, and I'm doing well. Weather is a bit rocky over here, and it has been rainy since the past few days, as such.
Okay, it's the same here.
Yes,
So
yes,
rainy season, so let's
yes,
start and let's talk about IELTS today. So
yes.
IELTS or IELTS, it's pronounced like that. So what is
Mhm.
IELTS and what is this exam for and whom is it for, Anto?
Yes. Okay, so IELTS basically is stands for International English Language Testing System. So it is a worldwide English language test which is used by professionals as well as students who are going abroad to study in universities. So it is used by them mainly. So IELTS is the globally recommended language English language test, and it is used by almost 2 million people from all over, almost like 130 plus countries use IELTS as a medium of English language testing as such. So this is about IELTS in short, I would say.
Okay. And who are the people who can give IELTS, or is it compulsory for whoever who goes outside to study or work? They have to attend this exam, or is it for some specific group of people?
So the people, the students who are mostly going to English-speaking countries, okay, those who are going to English-speaking countries, they are required to write at least one of the two tests. Either they can write IELTS or another one is TOEFL. Okay,
Okay.
so TOEFL is a test of English as a foreign language. That is also one of the another English language test. But most of the students prefer IELTS because IELTS is widely recognized in all of the universities, major universities. So IELTS is the one preferable thing which you can do if you have dreams to study in any of the English-speaking countries, I would say.
Okay. And what is the difference between IELTS and TOEFL? Is there any difference as
Yes.
such?
There is not much difference, I would say, but yes, in every test there is some differences, right? So there are very basic tests as such, and the calculation schemes are also different in both among both the tests.
Maybe people who ask for IELTS, they have
Yes,
in foreign countries. So
yes.
there might be
Some
specific.
universities, some universities prefer IELTS, some universities prefer TOEFL as such. That's the major difference among the two.
Okay, thank you so much. And what is the format of the exam?
Yes. So IELTS mainly has four modules as such. Okay, we have listening, reading, writing, and speaking. And again, these two are also divided into two particular sections. One is academic and one is general. So academic is mainly used by students as such who want to enroll in any of the universities abroad,
Mhm.
and general is used mainly by people, okay, for if they have to go and work abroad, if they wish to work abroad and if they have got any offers from there. So academic IELTS is used by people as such. And academic and general, there are some differences as such, mainly in the writing and reading sections. Rest speaking as well as listening section, academic and general IELTS models, both are the same.
Okay. And for example, if what is like, I've heard that there's a band like 1 to 10. They provide
Yes.
bands. So
Yes.
how do you qualify? What is the passing marks or passing band as such?
Yes. Okay. So bands are essentially like the grades which we have over here in India. That those are essentially the bands which are in IELTS as such. So most of the universities prefer band 7 as okay, and band 7 means you should get a minimum score of 7 in all the 4 modules like listening, speaking, reading, and writing. If you get 7, then it is a band 7. So there are a lot of people who get up higher and lower in this sections, and if they get a band 7, that is good, well and good. But nowadays in United Kingdom as such, even a band 6.5 is okay. So this is mainly about the band score as such. So keeping a good band score is always preferable, because if you have a higher band score, then the higher the chances to get into a more prominent university as such.
Okay, so you would be preferred if you have higher bands.
Yes.
Okay, and for
Yes.
example, if I pass the exam now, I get a 7 band. So is there a validity of it, or I'll have to give the exam again and again?
No. So if you get a good band score, 7 is a good band score, I would say. So this IELTS score is valid for 1 year. So within that 1 year, you can apply to any of the universities which you would like to apply. And one after 1 year, it is not valid as such. You would have to write it again.
Okay, so Anto, how much would you rate me in a band of 1 to 10?
So I would give you like a 8.
Okay, not
I
bad.
know only about your speaking module as such. So there are different modules like listening,
Exactly.
reading, and writing too.
Okay, so I'll work harder to get a 9, isn't it?
Yes,
Okay,
yes, that would be good.
thank you so much. So, how do you give the exam? Is there offline exams or just online?
So there are offline as well as online modules which is going on, but the current situation, as we all know, after the coronavirus pandemic, then it has been mostly seen that mostly online exams are being preferred by students due to the safety matters. But and now even offline exams have started, at least in some parts of the country, I would say.
Okay. All right. So it's still going on, all right? Because there are so many
Yes,
exams that are getting canceled these days. So IELTS is
yes.
still going on, right?
Yes. So right now they have started again after the second wave has just subsided over here, I would say. But no one knows when it will come again as such, and the exams are again cancelled. So as of now, exams are going on.
Okay, thank you. And the most important question is how to prepare for the IELTS. If you can
Yes,
give a rough idea.
Yes, IELTS preparation. So I would say that writing is the most difficult task in IELTS. To write, okay, to prepare a writing module, it would take a lot of time and a lot of effort, I would say, because there are lots of writing. Like there are lots of things which we have to follow in writing. There are a lot of vocabulary. There's a lot of grammar which we have to take into consideration while writing. So for writing, there are various tips which I give in my classes as such. And for the listening as well as reading, it is okay. Okay. So if you put in some effort as such from your side, then you can be able to do it. But writing and speaking, you would need a trainer's help to develop your speaking abilities or writing abilities.
So it's writing, reading, listening, and speaking, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's right.
And as we normally prepare for any exam, this would definitely be a level up, the IELTS exam. But normally, as we prepare for a person who's an average in speaking in English or writing in English, so it takes time, right? We
Yes.
cannot do it in a month or two. It depends on
Uh,
the ability.
so it can be done in a month or two if you have proper guidance, I would say.
Okay.
But if you're a person who just cannot have a mentor as such, then it would take at least 2 months as you are preparing on your own as such.
Mhm. So it would be difficult if we do not have a guidance, but if we do, then it
Yes,
would be much easier. So,
much easier.
is there any tips and tricks that you would like to give to people who want to prepare for the exam?
Yes, so tips and tricks I would like to give is be in the listening section, in the listening module as such, be attentive in while speaking. Most of the people, most of the students, I would say, they are not attentive while preparing for the exam, while giving the exam as such. They lose their concentration. But IELTS listening is a particular module in which even if we lose our attention for 1 second, that might we can lose a 1 point as such, okay, because that one in that 1 second we might get an answer as such. So be attentive during the reading listening section, I would say. And about reading also, one of the tips I would give is you can skim and scan through the entire passage to look for keywords as such. Keywords, underlining the keywords and writing it down is the main in reading, I would say. So these are a few tricks which I would give as such.
What about speaking? Like, what are a few questions, if you can just tell us that what kind of
Yes.
questions are asked in the speaking section?
Yes. Okay. Speaking section is also divided into three parts, like part A, part B, and part C. Wherein part A, we will be asking 4 to 5 questions, which are short. Okay, we will just answer it in 2 to 3 sentences as such. And the part B, okay, part B will be giving a cue card in the sense, okay. Cue card in the sense means it is a topic which you will have to speak on, and they will have 4 subtopics. So you will have to prepare speaking. You will be given 1 minute to prepare, and after the 1 minute preparation time, you will have to speak for 2 minutes as such. So, for example, I will give a topic like describe a favorite food you have eaten. Okay. So in there's a cue card, and we will have 4 sub points like where was the food you had, what was the taste of it, how do you still remember it, and will you eat it once more. Okay, so you should prepare a strategy based on this 4 points which you have got, and then formulate formulate a speaking of 2 minutes based on these 4 things as such.
Okay, so does the speaking section also have subsections, or is
Yes. Speaking has subsections. So as I mentioned earlier, speaking is divided into 3 parts: part A, part B, and part C. And part C will continue the part C will have questions which is continued from the part B.
okay?
So this is
So,
about speaking.
okay, thank you. So is the reading, listening, all the 4 things, is it done on the same day, or do we have different days for that?
So earlier it used to be like speaking used to be conducted a day or 2 days earlier, but now in the present situations, speaking is done on the same day as the exam date. Listening, reading, and writing we have on the same day, and speaking used to be a day earlier or a day later, but now due to the current situations, it is on the same day.
Okay. So do you take classes, and are you taking the classes right now?
Yes, I am taking the classes online right now. No offline classes right now, so only online.
Okay. So if you can share your details, I would mention it in the description box so that if people are interested, they can contact you. Is that fine?
Yes, that would be fine for me as such.
Okay, so I'll be mentioning all the details about Anto and how you can contact him if you want any classes for IELTS. And he would definitely, I'm sure he would do the best job. So thank you so much, Anto. This was a short introduction about IELTS and what is the exam about, how you can attend the exam. So thank you so much for taking out time for us. And I hope if I need your help in future, you would definitely take out time. I'm sure about that, isn't it?
Yes, sure, Mega. I will definitely take my time out for you.
Okay. So thank you so much, Anto. And I would end this session here. Maybe we can talk about IELTS in a much elaborate manner, section wise, some other time. Okay.
Yes,
So
sure.
thank you so much, everybody. If you want any help, you can contact him. I would mention it in the description box. Thank you so much, Anto.
Thank you, Megha, for